Novak Djokovic came into the 2023 Wimbledon final, one of the favourites to win the title for sure. But given the fact that he has in the past not exactly been a fan favourite, there's no guarantee that he would be getting the support of centre court. And that was in fact the case. Yet there was one of, or really two incidents which did actually end up ensuring that the rather partisan crowd ended up turning against him. One of them, of course, was when he smashed his racket, and he was in fact given an official formal warning for that. So we're not going to touch upon that too much, but one of the things that has ended up lending itself to a lot of debates on social media was the rather lengthy toilet break that he ended up taking. Now, of course, toilet breaks have been a cause of ethical concern in the sport of tennis for quite a while, and in fact it got so bad that the rule makers had to actually introduce timings to ensure that people would not end up taking too long toilet breaks. But even then, it still remains a bit of a contentious debate. So was Djokovic actually really cheating when he took that toilet break? Was it gamesmanship? What is it that the rules say, and was Djokovic really flouting any of them? That's what we're going to be looking at in this particular video. First off though, let's look at the incident that really got people talking. He did take a toilet break, and he took it after the third set. And if you're counting the time from the time he left the court as well as from the time that he then came back onto the court, the break lasted anywhere about close to 7 or 8 minutes. And understandably, fans were not very happy with the entire thing, because right after the third set was when Alcaraz had taken a 2-1 lead after having trailed 1-0 after the first set. So clearly people saw it for what it was, which was of course an attempt to interrupt the flow and to break Alcaraz's momentum, and it did work, because again, the fourth set Djokovic ended up taking pretty easily before losing the fifth. But the real question is, are such things legal? Well, actually, to put it politely, yes. Toilet breaks are very much allowed in the sport of tennis, and if you go for a 3-set match, then you're given 1 toilet break. So a 3-set match in regular tournaments aside from Grand Slams for men means you get a 1 toilet break, and a 3-setter for women means you get 1 toilet break. If it's a 5-set match, you're allowed 2 toilet breaks, but the key thing is that these breaks are only permitted in between sets. So unless you have some sort of a really bad emergency, believe you me when I say you're not getting that toilet break in the middle of the set, because the rules clearly state that they're only allowed at the time of a set break. So Djokovic wasn't entirely out of bounds when he took that, because A, it was taken between sets, and 2, it was one of 2 toilet breaks that he would have been allowed, given the fact that this match went into a 5-setter. Now, the real question is, what about time limits? Because again, previously this has been an issue, but when you're looking at time limits, the break must officially last nothing more than 3 minutes. And you're given a 2-minute extra time for changing clothes. But the key thing is that the time is starting to count when the player reaches the toilet. And what's more, there will be an official. So one of the line umpires will accompany the player when he goes to the toilet. So basically, if you're only going to use the toilet, you're given 3 minutes as soon as you reach the toilet. So the timer starts when you reach the toilet, because obviously in different, let's say, arenas and tennis courts around the world, the time to reach the toilet might be more, might be less, depending on, of course, the size of the ground or where it is the toilet's located. So the 3 minutes start once you reach the toilet. Once you enter, you're given a 2 minutes extra for a change in clothing. Now Djokovic did in fact take his kit bag and changed his clothes, so he technically had 5 minutes, and he didn't actually go over time, given that he did in fact have an umpire with him who would have been there to remind him every single time he was coming close to those limits. So the real question, of course, you'd be asking yourself is, why do such rules exist in the first place? It seems a very tennis-only problem, but it does exist because it is there to prevent gamesmanship. This has been a problem in the sport of tennis, and in fact, Djokovic himself is absolutely no saint when it comes to these. Not only has he used toilet breaks to his advantage, he's also used medical timeouts multiple times in the past to try and break his opponent's flow. It's nothing new, but in fact, there was an incident with Stefanos Tsitsipas in the 2021 US Open that necessitated a massive rule change. Now, the match in question here refers to Tsitsipas versus Andy Murray, and it was in the knockout stages, one of the quarterfinal, if I'm not wrong, of the 2021 US Open, where Tsitsipas ended up taking multiple toilet breaks that lasted really long, and every single toilet break came at a time when Murray was really picking up some momentum. Murray, in fact, afterwards was pretty harsh with his commentary, but he wasn't wrong when he said that it was whatever was being something done was done absolutely not just against the spirit, but technically should even be against the rules of the game, because he took so many breaks and there was no limit whatsoever. So the Tsitsipas incident is what really chose, or what really compelled the tennis authorities to actually make major changes. So to answer the question we were first posing, did Djokovic indulge in gamesmanship? Absolutely he did. He knew that at that point in time was the best time to take that toilet break, because again, Alcaraz, sorry, not Tsitsipas, Alcaraz was 2 sets up, 2 sets up to 1, having lost the first set. So he knew that at that point, if he took a break, he'd be able to stymie the momentum very easily. But was he cheating or doing anything against the rules? No. So this was one of those cases which was very borderline. So if you know, or if you saw the rules, he wasn't in any way in contravention of the rules, and if he was, he actually would have been handed a warning for unsportsmanlike conduct, which he wasn't. So in this case, I understand the outrage that comes Djokovic's way, but he didn't really do that much wrong, at least not in a legal sense. We hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, you can let us know, and don't forget to like it, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel, and tap that bell icon as well. Also, don't forget to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and do download the AajTak app as well. Plus, if you're already on the channel, go ahead, check out some other content that we've put out. For now, from my side though, it's goodbye.